Hey. It's so funny, especially when hi, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Slow Sewing Sundays. My name is Raven and DIY Raven. And yeah, I like to sew stuff. I feel like I do more talking about sewing on these vlogs, on these Slow Sewing Sunday videos, but yeah, definitely all about sewing. Anywho, yeah, so another late one. I think I'm just gonna own it. I think for the most part, I feel like these are gonna be late. I just feel like I just jam pack so much into my days, especially on Sundays. So it kind of feels actually kind of nice to have it kind of quiet. I have the window cracked open a little bit. It's actually almost too warm for this sweater, but I wanted to wear it. I wasn't a big tie dye fan for the longest time, but I'm digging this sweater a lot. It's actually from a creator on YouTube, not YouTube, sorry, on Instagram, Dude Quilter. Um, every now and then, he will kind of have these he'll just have these drops or he'll just have these makes, but he does a lot of like tie dye. He creates a lot of bags and he definitely creates a lot of quilts and such, but he's extremely talented. And every now and then, when he kind of makes a bunch of things, and I think like this in particular, it was some things that he had made over a couple years and he was just trying to kind of clean house a little bit. So I got this for like a steal. But yeah, so I wear this a lot. Where was I going with all this? I feel like I had started to say something, and then I was like, oh, let me introduce myself. And then, as usual, I just interrupt myself. So, yeah, doing some late sewing, doing the same project I've been doing because I haven't been working on it. But again, just taking these hour sessions basically and doing a little bit of work. So at least I can just touch the machine. And lately, if you've been around, I've been really kind of digging this new home Janome machine. It's kind of considered more of a like a basic or beginner machine, but it's a machine nonetheless. It works fantastic. I got it back in October. Didn't really start testing it till probably a couple weeks ago, and have been using it ever since in these videos because also it's just really darn cute. But it runs really well and I'm extremely happy with the performance. So anyway, I'm just gonna kind of probably, I could keep talking if I feel like it gets too noisy outside because again I'm pretty soft spoken, hence why the mic is right here. But if I feel like there's too much commotion or something going on or just street noise, then I will close that up. But the breeze is nice. Oh, happy Sunday, happy Easter Sunday. And yeah, so I'm just going to kind of get into it. So where I left off and kind of what I had decided, since I'm using rayon for my project, I am doing the Roscoe dress pattern of the Roscoe blouse and dress pattern by True Bias Patterns, using this beautiful rayon to make a nice dress for the spring. I feel like because it's still pretty chilly out here, at least for me, for spring, for it basically to be April at this point. If spring is waiting on me to finish this, we may have another couple weeks at the rate I'm going. But alas, she persisted. So last time I was really kind of focusing on making using a French seam for my seam finishing technique. I'm going to continue that again because it's just beautiful. It's really appropriate for this weight of fabric. And again, I just didn't really feel like dragging out my serger's right here. I just don't feel like using her for this in particular. So just want to use this Janome for that. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, oh yeah, and also again, I just love this thing, seam roller. This is what I'm also going to be doing, like all of my pressing of my seams. Because with a French seam, we have to basically go over the same seam twice. So it takes a little longer, but it's just so beautiful looking. Has your garment at the end has pretty guts, as we like to say, on the inside. So that's what I'll be doing. Okay, I ramble a lot. So my goal actually for this one, because I love to talk, but I would like to make a little bit of progress. So I may not be talking a lot, but I will be here, and hopefully making steady progress. And yeah, because I would like to finish this year, this month, this week if I had enough discipline, but don't have that. So all right, let's see. So I will do my little hybrid setup right now, where you see a little bit of me and a little bit of my desk area that I'm working on. I think where I left off last time, I was attaching one of the sleeves to basically the front, front bodice or the front piece. So now I'm going to attach the other sleeve in the same manner, using the French seam technique. And again, with the French seam, you do opposite of what you would usually do. So instead of right sides together, we're going to start with wrong sides together. But because I just keep jumping in and out of this project, I would like to just put these pieces together, right sides together, just to make sure, like, okay, yep, these two go together like that. And then I'll flip them accordingly. Oh, another thing though, I will say, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna derail myself. Just gonna focus. I feel like especially if it's been a second, I feel like the first few minutes is just like reacquainting yourself, like, what was I doing? Yeah. Okay. This. Okay. Okay, so I think I lied. now that I'm at least at this point in what I'm doing, I have a I have an okay idea of what I'm doing at this point. I'm gonna also, need other moments of silence, but as of right now, I'm like, okay, cool. I know what I'm doing, so now I can talk a little bit. Um, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my weekend. So Saturday morning, first of all, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Whew, man, do they go by fast? But I had kind of I knew I had a busy weekend. Usually I like to kind of keep my weekends light just because I like to like not do much. Usually because the during the week is so busy. But um, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I've just I don't know if it's because now I live in a place where it snows. And I am one of those people that like when the sun isn't shining, I'm just not as happy. I really the sun dictates a lot for me, and I hate to say that, but I just feel like I'm a plant that needs like full sun, you know, to be really happy. So being a Texas girl, that was never a problem. But to be fair, DC has a lot of great weather, and the winters here are not really. I wouldn't call them harsh. I have definitely not fully lived in Chicago, but I've worked out of Chicago and like you know, in and out of like Minnesota or yeah, and other places like that. So I know what winters look like. So this is not that, but um, it's like okay, winter, this is cute or whatever, but I need you to warm up. I need it to be bright outside. I want to feel alive. So anyway, all of that to say, I think is just really. Oh, and then like I live in like a basically an apartment situation where I don't have a yard or a balcony. And then, remember we all came off of like lockdown and the pandemic and things like that feel like it was a long time ago, but it really wasn't. So I think it's just really made me want to, be outside or grow things or just, whatever. And I went to a class by REI, hosted by REI to like beginner camping essentials. One day I'm gonna do it. But I don't know the first thing about it, so I decided to take a class. And I love taking classes, and they don't have to be about sewing. I just love taking classes about lots of things, just whatever I'm interested in. So it went really well. We met at like a state park in the area. I had to be there at 9 a.m. Um, and it went on till 1 p.m. So, I mean, I feel like there are definitely worse ways to spend your Saturday, and I felt really fulfilled. And even though, like, we were like, I got to set up like a tent by myself. Well, I did have help, but and then just like learning about like all the supplies and like things you would need, you know, um, they showed us a method of like, how you would use the bathroom out in the woods. I'm talking about number two. um, just things to know. Um, I, yeah, really enjoyed it. So that was like the first part of my Saturday. And then a friend of mine, she had a birthday dinner or whatever, so did that. So Saturday just felt really full. Um, and then today, what did I do today? Today was Easter Sunday, but I definitely, we live in a nice little area, so we did see like a lot of kids, a lot of, other folks that were like dressed up and all that type of stuff. We didn't do anything like that. We did go to breakfast though this morning, and let's see what else. Oh, and went to like a coffee shop, so tried to like kind of enjoy the day a little bit. And honestly, it's just nice to have like one day where you're just like, you know, resting and just relaxing. So especially coming off of a day like I had on Saturday. So it's actually funny. Shout out to my father. So my parents, they definitely watch my lives. They may not watch them in live time, but they like to catch them because it's like, I think the vibe, that I kind of am trying to throw off is that, like, hey, we're just talking, we're just hanging out. So it's nice for them because they feel like they get to see me at least once a week, because these are obviously very current. And me and the old roommate, we were like watching TV, and my dad called and he was like, "Hey, so are you gonna do your show today?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," because it had been on my mind. But I was like, "Yeah, let me do that." Especially too, like I feel like I've been on like a pretty good streak. I know I did miss one officially on a day that it was another birthday thing when I went to the museum and and hang out with the friends, and that kind of lasted all day. But for the most part, I've been really consistent with this. So I was like, you know what? Just because it's night doesn't mean anything. Um, Again, like it's really peaceful at night, so this is actually a good time to get some stuff done. I'm always, whenever I pull the thread out, I'm always looking for the cutter. Again, just habits, but it's no big deal. So now I'm gonna use my trusty seam roller. And I remember when I was using it on the last video thinking that, like, man, I feel like I look like I'm struggling. And like, is this really doing much of anything? But honestly, when I was like showing, you my French seam and what it looked like and all that type of stuff, and when I felt it and all that type of stuff, I was like, you know what? I can feel the pressing action. So I can't sing this little tool's praises enough. Again, I don't think it's most effective, on lighter weight, like kind of like cotton, linen, type things like that. Rayon kind of does what it wants to do. So I don't think it's as effective there. But if you're somebody like a quilter or whatever, and like, you wanna, you're doing your piecing or whatever, and then you want to like open up the seams, like this would save you from like needing to have an iron nearby, or getting up and going to the ironing board every whatever. So again, I'm opening up these seams because it's just so much easier to actually encase the seam allowance. When I'm doing the second part of the French seam construction. Also, too, I'll admit, which I probably haven't admitted before, it can feel a little awkward for me when I'm like, because I'm sitting here, and then I'm kind of like doing everything to the side to make sure that, like, you know, it's in view to the camera. So sometimes my movements feel a little, doesn't feel completely natural, but it's all good. That's right. I was using these pins here, these clips. Super handy. I think the first time I started using these was actually like in 2015, because actually the first time I saw them was on a trip to Japan. When I was visiting the country, but I was also visiting my roommate who was based there at the time, for the military, and lived there. And you know, while he would be like at work, um, I would kind of, he lived near the Ginza, basically like the mall area, and you know, they would have like all these little shops, and so he was able to ask, you know, somebody in the office or whatever, I forgot, like kind of like an, I guess like an HR person or somebody that helps with like kind of admin stuff. And so they kind of gave me the hookup on like where, like, you know, a couple sewing shops would be kind of in the area. So that was fun. I actually have, yeah, I have a video on my channel about that, and like the little sewing fabric haul that I got, and just like some footage of, like, you know, the fabric I ended up getting, and you know, just like what it looked like, you know, the area, and me getting lunch and all type of stuff. It was fun. Um, but that was the first time that I had actually come across these kind of like clips, and I think at the time, like, it was only like maybe 6 or 12 in the pack. You know what I mean? But it just felt like a, you know, kind of like a novelty, like, ooh, this is cool, you know, and I got this in Japan, and I'll take it back. And then lo and behold, everybody's also using them here. So like, but I feel like they used to be rather expensive, but you can, of course, on old Amazon, you can get them pretty inexpensively, and like a whole bunch of them. But at the time, I remember them being a bit on the pricier side. But I guess that's like just like everything, you know. But yeah, but that was, I guess, almost 10 years ago now. It's just been so long. Yeah, or 2014 maybe. I think. I think it was 2014. Yeah, so literally 10 years ago. Um, Sometimes when I, you know, take videos like these, and even like I remember, you know, taking the video like that one, you know, thinking at the time that, like, oh, this is cool or whatever. But I don't know. I could have easily not done it, you know, but I'm so glad I did, because it's, I have it up on this channel, you know, I'll always remember it, you know, and like, even though a lot of other people may not look at my channel necessarily like I do at times, you know, there's just certain things that, like, it's like looking back at old photos, you know. um, Definitely some good times, and some ways simpler times, you know. Um, Okay. I'm assuming also because I'm like also kind of being more quiet. Like if you're hearing like we're kind of off a major street, and so if you're like hearing all the road noise, in the background, obviously. I swear, every time I work with rayon, I'm like, was this the best decision? Golly. So again, oh, you can't see me. Okay. Let me bring this over a little bit more. So, just in the shot. Yeah, okay. So I keep adjusting this knob here at the beginning. You know, usually you go forward, you go back, but again, because this round is so fiddly, what I've been doing to avoid doing the back and forward, but to make sure I lock in the stitch, I've just been minimizing the stitch length to very, very, very tight, basically down to one, and then going a few stitches and then bringing the stitch length up to about 2.5 and continuing the seam. And that way I kind of, don't have to really bother too much with this fiddly fabric, because sometimes the needle will like punch it down into the plate, and it just gets really kind of ugly at the beginning and ending of each stitch. I forgot which way I'm supposed to press it. Alright, so now it's time for me to do the same thing to the back, attaching the sleeves to the back piece. That's right. I keep forgetting that I didn't pre-cut the notches. I'm glad I remembered that. Because that could have been a mess. Okay. know what y'all are thinking, like, uh-oh, Raven, don't forget, you're doing French seams. You don't want to do right sides together. But I'm a professional, guys. No, I make mistakes like that all the time. But I am saying that out loud just to make sure also that I don't forget. But again, I'm just making sure that I have the right things together, and then I will put the wrong sides together. I'm an overpinner, okay? Just in case anybody's secretly judging me, I'm just, I'm calling it out myself. So, okay, since I got this side going, I'm gonna actually go ahead and be proactive, pin the other side as well while I'm at it. Y'all are probably like shocked that I could be quiet for this long. I know. Crazy. Hey, I see those hearts. Thank you. You know, I mean, this is totally cool. But I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, It just would have been so much easier and faster if I just used the serger. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts, for the love. Yeah, it is late. I know. You should never expect me. You'll never know when I get on. Oops. Oh no. Uh-oh. All right, hold on. This one awry. Oh no. Seam ripper time. Oh. Okay. Oh, my bad. Can't really see that. Uh-oh. Oh no. Something funny going on down there. I know. I'm like, an hour is usually like my kind of my stopping point, but I'm motivated enough, I think, to try to do the same thing on the other shoulder. Before I call it quits for the night. I really should be paying attention to which way that I'm actually pressing it, but actually, I think once I get to yeah, like, so I'm yeah, I think like once I get to a good stopping point, and then I'm not gonna worry about like which side I'm like rolling and pressing it because no, I'm sorry. I just laughed because I like your name, Nosy. It's cute with the thumbs up. Um, hello. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it because I think I am after I get done with this other part before I stop. I think I'm gonna go ahead and like really press it with with a real iron before I start the actual like neckline. Not like you asked, but you know. Just so you know. Okay. Let me see if I can show you or if it's gonna make sense like what's kind of happening though. You're very welcome. Let's see. Oh. Okay, let me show you that shot. So It's like, what did we do? I'll show you what we did. So basically, I've been working on the sleeves and adding them to the front and back of this. So this is this is where I start losing my words when it starts getting late. Like the neckline thing. Hold on. Yeah, with like that's like basically the neckline. You know, the little opening here. So this is obviously the back, and this is one of our sleeves. I still need to basically attach it. You know, this is the sleeve, and then this is, you know, starting down the side of the shirt, and then basically doing the same thing to the other side. So I mean, we are getting there, and you know, again, it's just taking a bit longer because I am using a French seam, which it's a lot of work on the front end, and then it's just really such a nice finish by the end. You know, by the end of this. So yeah, we are getting there. It's starting to look like something. Okay, so French seam, finish, French seam, not finished yet. So let's do that. I'll bring myself back again. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna cheat because I am getting a little tired. So, you know, I've been like painstakingly, like, you know, taking my roller and like, you know, really getting the crease down. But, you know, I feel like rayon for the most part kind of doesn't care. So I'm gonna just like finger press it in place and just adjust it as I go down the seam. Yes, that's what we'll do. Get over here. All right. Again, encasing the seam at 3/8 of an inch, bringing down my stitch length way down. All right, bringing it back up. Yeah, this is definitely much faster. I feel like your girl's always out here trying to do the most. um, I could have been and had this done. Well, this part at least. Oh, thank you very much, Nosy. Um, yeah, actually, thank you for the compliment. Um, my mom is honestly the reason why that I'm still on Facebook. I almost gave up my Facebook a long time ago. My mom was like, "No, you should keep it up." So a lot of times when my videos, when they come here when they populate here on YouTube, she's actually the one that will um, put them on Facebook. So we make a good team, my mom and I. But yeah, she's the one that's actually kept my Facebook alive. I need to update my Facebook, but I'm glad you made your way here to the YouTubes. Yeah, this is mostly where I hang out. Okie dokie. But yeah, these videos are just basically like, just sharing what I'm doing, making sure that I, like check in not only, with you all, but also making sure that like at least once a week I'm doing some sewing. It's just easy for it to like, just get like the stuff you really enjoy to get away from you. During the weeks can be hectic. So sorry, I wasn't saying any of that into the mic. But yeah, basically blah blah blah. Thanks for being here. Cool. So I am, it's in the name. The progress is going to be slow, okay? But I am happy with my progress. We are on our way. Next step is basically this tool's been great, but I want to, actually do some real ironing or pressing before I go any further. But let me go back to this view. Again, this is starting to look alive. Let me, yeah. No. Let me pin this. Yeah, like this. This is not how it's gonna be. I'm just pinning it together just because if not, it's gonna just like keep spreading open. But basically got my shoulders. So it's kind of actually like a raglan sleeve. And I think there's going to be some gathers going on, so that's why it's so like big and flowy, but eesh. Yeah, but the next step Yeesh, this fabric. So creepy and crawly. But the next step will definitely be to attach the this bottom seam here, where we go from underneath the sleeve down to the side of the dress slash shirt or blouse, depending on what you decide to make. And this neck opening is like that. But again, because we don't really have a neckline yet, she's a work in progress. So, okay. So yeah, she's a work in progress, but it's going great. Yeah, going really well. Yeah, so it's always hard for me to say goodbye. But thank you all for hanging out. If you check the replay, thanks for, taking a watch. I guess I truly hope that, like, if you watch these videos, I hope that you're, like, kind of doing your own stuff on the side. And it doesn't have to be sewing, but, like, this is kind of like a, hey, you can sew with me. Or if you want to, like, just watch these videos, if it just gives you great joy, just like kind of watching somebody else, do their toiling away. I know I have those moments where, I enjoy that kind of stuff, looking at that kind of stuff on YouTube. So either way, it's a win-win. But yeah, it's a late one. It's about 10:40 here. So I'm going to hop off. Hope you all have had a great Sunday. If you have celebrated Easter, happy Easter. And yeah, going into a new week. So farewell, everyone. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Happy sewing. Bye.